Hello everybody. So in today's video, we are going to do spice mixes together. We're going to make some spice mixes together. So I am actually sitting in front of Bulk Barn here in Canada. I don't know if other countries have that or not, but here it's a place where we can buy a whole bunch of bulk products. So we're going to go in and buy some of the spices we need to make some of these spice mixtures. I had to turn the sound off of this portion of the video. They were playing music in the store, but this is the bulk bins for spices. They have so many different varieties of things in this store. They have candy, they have powdered products, they have flour, they have pasta. They have everything you can imagine in this store. I love this store. So here I'm just getting some of the spices that we need to make the mixtures. And I also purchased some new spice jars, so I was buying extra to fill some of my new spice jars. Okay everybody, so it's been a couple days since we went shopping for all these spices that you see here. I'm trying to separate them by kind, just to keep it a little bit more organized. But we are going to make 7 different spice mixtures. I made the labels already. So we're going to make taco seasoning, Greek seasoning, pumpkin pie spice, Chinese 5 spice, ranch powder, Jamaican jerk seasoning, and Italian seasoning. I wanted to use ones that I know I'll use. So yes, let's get started with the pumpkin pie spice. Okay, so I've been looking at changing out my spice jars to these. I really like the way these look, and these are kind of hard to get into. They have these holes and stuff, and then I have to try and peel it off every time I want to put a spoon in there. So I just wanted something a little bit more open. So I'm going to make them in these new jars today, and I'm slowly going to be moving over all my other spices into these jars. So let's start with the pumpkin pie spice. I'm going to start with 3 times the recipe, and then we'll see how much that makes, how much this fills this jar. I might add more after. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm just going to put the label on the top of the lid here. I kind of want them to be on the top of the lid so I can wipe the jars easier. And these labels say they are erasable, so I don't really want to erase them by accident. Okay, so it says 3 tablespoons of cinnamon. So I'm going to do 9 because we're going to 3 times the recipe right off the bat here. Oh, this smells so good. Okay. So let's do 3 times and see how much it fills this jar. I think I will use pumpkin spice pie spice a lot. I do a lot of baking. Even cinnamon buns would be good with this. 2, 9. Okay. So I think I could also use this in, obviously pie. That's the obvious one. I could use it in drinks, cocoa, ginger, ground ginger. We need 2 teaspoons, so that would be 6 because we're 3 timesing. I have never made my own seasonings. I just never ever got around to it. So this is something I have wanted to do for a very long time. 3, 4, 5, 6. That was ground ginger. And then we need 2 teaspoons of nutmeg. So that's 6 altogether. I'm probably just going to donate these jars just so someone else can enjoy them. They're just not quite what I want. 1 and 6. I'm actually not a huge fan of clutter, so whenever I grow out of something or just don't have a use for something anymore, I usually donate it almost immediately. Oh, this one doesn't have a little thingy on it. This one is 1.5. So that's 4.5 teaspoons of allspice. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's my half? Okay, so this is cloves. It's also 4.5 teaspoons. So it's 1.5 teaspoons if you're 1 timesing the recipe. Make sure this is cloves. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a half. And that is all that goes into the pumpkin pie spice. Or pardon me, pumpkin pie spice. I'm already thinking of the other recipes here. So I'm going to put the lid on. I like these lids. They have like a little seal on them, so they stay a little bit more fresh. And I'm just going to mix it right in the jar. Probably won't make my jar look so nice, but that's okay. And there we go. There's the first one. Now let's move on to, let's see, how about we move on to homemade ranch powder. I think that would be a good one for the next one. So let me move some of this around and we'll start on the ranch. Okay, so I separated some of the spices so it was a little easier. So I'm going to make, in the bigger jar here, ranch seasoning. So we need, I'm going to double this recipe just because there's a little bit more in it. So we're going to do 2 times the recipe. Let me put the lid on first here, the label. I don't want to get them mixed up, so I want to put the labels on right away. Okay. So this is buttermilk powder that we bought together. My 1 cup measure. So it takes half a cup of buttermilk powder per recipe. So we're going to do double. So we're going to do a whole cup. Put it right into this big one here. You can always make more later. It's not just that, but I would like to try some of these seasonings as well before I make bigger quantities of them. I think they're going to be great though. Okay, so a whole cup of buttermilk powder. Then we have, I labeled all these when I bought them. Parsley, 2 tablespoons, so that's about 4 tablespoons of parsley, ground parsley. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm pretty sure I need this still for the Italian seasoning, I think. So we'll put it off to the side. Onion powder. We need 1 tablespoon, so we're going to do 2. Two. Dried minced onion. I don't have any of that, so we're going to leave that out because it does have onion powder in it. But if you wanted to add the dried minced onion, you can. Garlic powder, 2 teaspoons. So that's 4 altogether. 4. I want to make this exactly like the recipe just to see if I like it the way it shows. Later on, the next time I make it, I can embellish it and put more garlic in if I want. 2 teaspoons of dried chives. So 4 altogether because we're doubling. 3, 4. And then it says 1 teaspoon of dried dill weed, which is this. So that's 2. Yes, I just want to make sure. Dill can be quite strong, so I wanted to make sure. 1, 2. And then 1 teaspoon of salt. Actually, let me just open it. It'll be easier. Use whatever kind of salt you normally use. Salt. And half a teaspoon. Oh, pardon me, that's supposed to be 2. I was supposed to double that. Seems like a lot of salt, but we're following the recipe. 2. And half a teaspoon of black pepper, so a whole teaspoon. And that's all that's in this one. So let's shake it up. That's what it looks like right now. Give it a shake. Mix everything together. I think this is going to be delicious. It smells just like ranch. I don't know why I'm surprised, but this is what it looks like. Give you a look. That smells really good. I'm excited to use that. Okay, now let's move on to the Jamaican jerk seasoning. Let's do that. Okay, so I separated the seasonings for the Jamaican jerk seasoning. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 different spices in this. Wow. Okay, so we're going to double this. I'm hoping it'll all fit in this jar nicely. So let's hope. Okay, so we need onion powder first. 1 tablespoon, so we're going to do 2. 1. 2. Almost bought the exact amount. I had another little bottle here just in case. One that's almost empty. Let's put those aside. Garlic powder, 1 tablespoon. So we're going to do 2. No, I'm going to take the lid off. This is one of the reasons why I'm going to change my spice jars. A little bit more convenient. So 1 tablespoon, so 2. 1, 2. I think I'm going to use this seasoning to start with some chicken. I think it's going to be delicious. Okay. Cayenne pepper, 2 teaspoons. So that's 4 teaspoons altogether. I think my fiance is going to love this. He loves spicy food. 1, 2, oh, that's a lot of spice. 3, 4, because we're doubling it. Oof, I could feel that in my nose already. Okay, and then 2 teaspoons of salt, so that's 4 altogether. That seems like a lot of salt. 2, we're gonna do it though. 3. Like I was saying earlier, I'll adjust them the next time I make them if there was something a little too much that I didn't like. 4, and same with the black pepper. There's 2 teaspoons, so that's 4 altogether because we're doubling. 4. And then this is where it gets interesting. We're going to put some sugar in this. 2 teaspoons, so 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hopefully that'll balance out some of the flavors. And dried thyme. That one threw me a little. I didn't expect that to be in this. So dried thyme is also 2 teaspoons, so 4 altogether. 1, 2, 4. We're going to need this for the Italian seasoning, so I'm just going to put it off to the side here. And then dried parsley. Oh wait, I don't want to jump too far ahead here and miss something. Sugar, allspice. So for the allspice, 1 teaspoon, so 2 altogether. 1, 2. There's so many different spices in this. It's surprising to me. Now the dried parsley. So 1 teaspoon, so 2 altogether. We're doubling. 1, 2. And then 1 teaspoon of paprika. So we're going to do 2. I use paprika a lot. I really like paprika chicken. It's really good. 1 and 2. Hot pepper flakes, 1/2 teaspoon. So we're going to do a whole teaspoon. I'm sure you could substitute this with other hot pepper flakes like Korean ones, but we're going to do just this. This is going to be so spicy. Okay, so 1 whole teaspoon. 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. So we're going to do a whole teaspoon. Look how pretty it looks like in the glass. Looks pretty. Okay, so 1 whole teaspoon of cinnamon. 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, so a whole teaspoon, because we're doubling. Sorry that I keep repeating that. It's just for people that if they're just joining. I'm showing that I'm doubling the recipe here. So a whole teaspoon of nutmeg. 1/2 teaspoon of ground cloves. Not this one. Is it this one? Yes. So we're doing a whole teaspoon. And a 1/4 teaspoon of cumin. So we're going to do 1/2 teaspoon. So let me see here. and half a teaspoon. And that is all the ingredients in this seasoning mix. So let's, oh, I didn't put the label on. Okay, let's shake it up. This would be really good on chicken. There's that one. So now let's move on to taco seasoning. Okay, so for the taco seasoning, I think I'm going to 3 times this recipe because I use taco seasoning a lot. So my kids love tacos. So we're going to start with chili powder. Chili powder is 6 tablespoons, so 18 of these. I don't know if we have enough of that. Maybe I should start with double. Let's start with double. See if I have enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12. It's debatable if I'll have enough. 12. Let's try it. Let's just try it. 13. That's awesome. 18. Okay, that was chili powder. That was 3 times the recipe, so I put 18 tablespoons in. Okay, 4 teaspoons of ground cumin, so that's 12 of these. We'll see if I have enough room in this jar. I might need to get a bigger jar. I anticipated this, so I bought another one. I couldn't get it in the bulk food store, so I had to buy it in a jar here. 5, 6, 12. That's a lot of cumin. Okay. If this ends up being too much, I think what I'm going to do is mix it in like a bag, and then just pour the mixed mixture in here and just save the rest in the cupboard. Okay, so that's 12. So 3 teaspoons of paprika. So we need 9 of these. Nine. Okay, and then 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. So that would be 6 altogether. Just wipe off my spoon here so I don't get it all through the garlic powder. So we need 6 of these. 6. And then onion powder. We'll see if I have enough of this. So 2 teaspoons, so 6 of this as well. It's about a teaspoon in here. So it's about 3. Four, 5, 6. And black pepper, 1 teaspoon, so 3. Ooh, that's keeping. 1, 2, 3. And cayenne pepper. It says 1/8 to 1/4, depending on your like. So we're going to do 3 times 1/8. 1, 2, 3. And I'm surprised that fit in there. I really didn't think it was going to fit. I was thinking of other options to do. And that's it. So that's 3 times the recipe. So I'm going to put the lid on and I'm going to attempt to shake this up. I have never made my own taco seasoning before. I probably will after today. Because that was really, really easy. And there we go. Homemade taco seasoning. And I got a whole jar of it too. I'm pretty happy about that. Okay, so let's move on to Greek seasoning. I like eating Greek food a lot. Our family does. So let's do Greek seasoning next. So for the Greek seasoning, we're just going to double this one because I don't use this one as often and I want to make sure it's not stale by the time I use it. So oregano. Let's see here. Oregano. We need 2 teaspoons. So we're going to do 4. This is Greek seasoning, by the way, if you missed that part. So 1 times the recipe is 2 teaspoons, so I'm going to double. 3, 4. It's the same amount for the basil, 2 teaspoons. So we're going to do 4. This is basil, yeah. 2, 3, 4. There is a surprise ingredient in this that I'm actually quite surprised about. I'll tell you in a sec when we get to it here. I'm a little surprised by the recipe here. Parsley is 1 teaspoon, so we're going to put 2 in. And there's some dill in this. Oh, what did I do with the dill? There you go. Okay. 1 teaspoon of this, so 2 of this as well. And then onion powder again. I'm running so low on onion powder here. 1 teaspoon, so we're going to need 2. Hopefully there's enough in here. 1, 2. And garlic powder, 1 teaspoon, so we're going to put 2 in. What else? Rosemary, half a teaspoon, so we're going to put a whole teaspoon in. Just going to break them up a little bit. Rosemary can be quite potent, so I would stick to the recipe. And what was the other one? Thyme. Is this thyme? Yeah. Half a teaspoon of this. We're going to do a whole teaspoon. Now comes the weird ingredient that I never expected to be in Greek seasoning, is cinnamon. That's super surprising to me. It says half a teaspoon, so we're going to put a whole teaspoon in. We'll see. I didn't have any clue that cinnamon was in Greek seasoning. That's kind of weird to me. I'm a little surprised, actually. And 1 whole teaspoon of black pepper, so we're going to do 2. And then 2 teaspoons of salt. So that's 4 teaspoons. That's a lot of salt. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's a lot of salt. So I didn't make as much of this one, but I don't use this one as often. So that's all that goes in this one. So let's mix it up. This kind of reminds me of, you know, those sand art kits that you could get when you were a kid? That's what this kind of reminds me of. It looks beautiful. The cinnamon, that's throwing me. Let's smell it. Huh. It smells like Greek seasoning. Okay. Well, I'm going to give this a try and I'll let you know how the cinnamon tastes. Okay, so let's move on to Italian seasoning. Italian seasoning. So I'm going to double these. I think I have enough of everything to double it. Hopefully. So let's start with basil. So it says 3 tablespoons, so we're going to double it to 6. 6. And it's the same with the parsley, 3 tablespoons. We'll see. I don't know if I have 6 in here, but we'll use what I have in here. So 3, so I'm doubling it to 6. 5, 6. Well, that makes me happy. 6. And then dried oregano, I think is this one, yeah. 2.5 teaspoons. We're going to do, or tablespoons, pardon me. So we're going to do 5. 1, 5. That one. Garlic powder, 1 tablespoon. So we're going to do 2. Oh. 1, 2. Rosemary is 1 teaspoon. So we're going to do 2 teaspoons. 2. Oh, there is onion powder in here. Oof, I don't know if I have enough. It says 1 teaspoon. I think I only have maybe 1.5 in here. And I'm going to need 2 to double it. Oh, that's really close. I think that's good. Very, very close. And then dried thyme. We need 1 teaspoon. So we're going to do 2. 2. Black pepper is 1/4 teaspoon, so about half. And it says 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of red pepper flakes to your taste. So I don't want this too spicy, so I think I'm just gonna add a little bit of sprinkle in there and that's it. And then you just mix it up. Looks beautiful, right? Looks gorgeous. Mix it all up. There we go, Italian seasoning. For this last one, it's Chinese 5 spice. I left this one to last because I knew I was gonna have to grind some stuff up. So I could not find star anise powder, and it says you can use 6 to 10 star anise. I could find the whole ones, but I couldn't find powder. So I'm going to attempt to grind these up If it don't work, then it don't work. So I'm going to start 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're going to try doubling the recipe. We'll see how much this makes. So let's try this first and see if I can grind these up. Oh, it's actually grinding it up. I'm a little surprised. I don't mean to act so surprised. I just didn't think this was going to work. Oh, it smells so good. Wow. I'm super surprised that grinded those up so well. Okay. I got proven wrong today. So, since this is working, we're going to actually, I think we're going to 3 times this recipe. Okay, so this is 6, it's 12 of the star anise. So I'm going to do a little bit more after this. I just wanted to make sure it was going to work. We actually grounded it up really well. I'm really happy about that. Oof, I got some water in there. How did that happen? Probably when I was washing the jars. It's just on the edge here, so I'm just taking it off. There we go. Good thing I noticed that. Okay. Let me just wipe this other section here. Make sure it's dry. Yes, okay. So let's do 6 more of these. 4, 5, 6. I'm shocked that it's grinding it up so well. The blade is on the very bottom, and it's got a very, very low, it's only raised a little tiny bit. So I think that's why I'm so surprised that it's working so well. A little bit more. There's some chunks in there still. I'm just going to take the little chunk out because there's only couple little chunks in here. We'll just take those right out. Okay, dump the rest in. So since this worked so well, I think I'm going to grind up the fennel seeds that goes in this as well. So fennel seeds, it says 1 tablespoon. We tripled the recipe. See, they're actually in seeds. So I'm gonna turn it more into a powder. It did say, or you could use 1 teaspoon of ground fennel. So let's do 3 of these in this. Then they're just not in whole big seeds. Being, I think, more palatable. Oh yeah, that's working well. Perfect. Got some of the anise seeds or anise powder still in here, but that's fine. It's all in the same mixture here. Okay, that was 3 tablespoons of fennel. And then it says, this is where it gets tricky. So it says 1 to 2 teaspoons of Szechuan peppercorns, or you can use white peppercorns, so white pepper. So I'm going to use white pepper. I couldn't find anything Szechuan at all. So we are going to do, it says 1 to 2 teaspoons. So let's do 4 altogether. So that would be 3 times the recipe, plus we're going to add 1 just for the extra, because it says 1 to 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it says you can use a stick of Chinese cinnamon, or you can use a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. So we're going to do ground cinnamon. Yes, so I'm just trying to make sure I doubled that other one properly. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I didn't. Just one sec. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I need to add a little bit more to this one. I just realized that. Need to add 2 more teaspoons. That's a lot of pepper. White pepper is a little bit more mild. Okay, now the cinnamon. So 3 tablespoons of cinnamon, or teaspoons, pardon me. 1 teaspoon per recipe. 2, 3. And then 10 whole cloves, or half a teaspoon of ground cloves. So we have the ground cloves. So this is about 1.5 teaspoons, 3 times the recipe here. 1.5. And that is the Chinese 5-spice. So let's mix that up. This one was a little bit intimidating because of the whole star anise. I wasn't sure if it was going to blend nicely. That's why I left it to last. So let's mix this up. Give it a smell. Oh, that smells really different. I've never used this, but Ryan requested that I make this. He wants to cook with it in a few meals, so we're going to test it out. So there we go. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video today. It was fun making all these spices together. We made Chinese 5-spice, Italian seasoning, Greek seasoning, taco seasoning. We made a lot of that. Jamaican jerk seasoning, pumpkin pie spice. I'm really excited about this one. And some ranch powder. So I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye.